back to another penny stock video. Today we're looking at a really exciting one with tons of news that has been coming out lately. It's non-dilutive and they're building a really big streaming platform. So today we're talking about AHRO, Authentic Holdings Inc., currently at just 0.002 a share. We're going to talk about why I think this company has some serious potential, and we'll highlight all of their recent news events and tweets and things of that nature to describe, the direction this company is heading and why it could actually be a really big deal. So, first and foremost, as we always do, we will start out with looking at the share structure. Let's take a look at the share structure. We have a market cap of under $5 million. That's going to be pretty important to consider as we highlight some of the key features of this company. So keep that in mind that this is a pretty small market cap for what this company has going on. Actually, very small market cap for what this company has going on. And I'll give some examples of that as we get into the video. So the float right now is 2.2 billion essentially held at DTC here. Very manageable float, right? We've talked about before, anything like under like 3 billion for this price range is very manageable. Pretty normal share structure here. But the most important thing to highlight with this share structure is this company is not diluting, and you can see the authorized shares is 2.5 billion versus an OS of 2.27 billion, right? So there's really not even a lot of room to dilute in this share structure, which is great to see. That's one of the things we always look for is what's the authorized shares versus the outstanding shares. In this case, there's a very limited difference here, right? So there's not a lot of room to dilute, meaning there's not a lot of risk for traders and investors here at the moment in regards to that. So that's always great to see. Again, non-dilutive, which is super nice. So many OTC stocks these days, they're selling shares like they're on sale, right? But this is not the case with AHRO, so that's fantastic. Now let's jump into their news and tweets and talk about what this company does. Basically, this company is building a streaming platform similar to Tubi TV, Pluto TV, apps of that nature, right? So they're building a media library and they're building the streaming platform to go along with that. It'll be free streaming, ad-based revenue, and then also video on demand. So on pay-per-view events, essentially, they'll be putting out as well. So let's take a look at some of their recent news here. So let's go back to March 6th, where they reduced their debt by over $2 million while achieving substantial revenue growth. So this is where we really start to see this company grow into 2025 and really kick off the year strong with this PR. And you can see a couple things I want to highlight. They converted $2 million of debt into preferred shares that are performance-based. So now this debt really can't be converted unless the company does really well, which is great for shareholders, right? Obviously, it's a tremendous amount of confidence that this company is putting into their growth potential. And then we can see the revenue growth as well. Ad placements for first quarter were up over 500% compared to first quarter of 2024. Second quarter already looks like it will book more ads than all of 2024. So in their second quarter, they're booking more ads than they booked in the entire year of 2024. That's obviously huge growth, and it's a fantastic sign for the direction of this company. We are exceeding what we thought possible for the first half of 2025. We're only utilizing 10% of our available ad inventory across iDream CTV, which is their streaming platform, and it's 35 channels, leaving incredible room for growth. So this was their first really strong PR of the year, but there's a lot more to talk about here. And they also mention in this PR, as a result, we are currently in discussions with several parties in the music and sports arena to broadcast their live events via PPV to very large global audience in partnership with Whale TV. So Whale TV, this partnership is massive for AHRO because this is what Whale TV is it's an operating system for smart TVs. And you can see it powers smart TVs in over 41 million homes currently. So, when you turn on your smart TV, it runs either LG's operating system or Roku TV or Whale TV. And in this case, they're partnering with Whale TV. It powers 41 million televisions. So 41 million homes are going to now have access to iDream CTV and be introduced to the app, and they're going to see it on the front page of their TV when they turn on the TV. That's massive, massive exposure for this streaming platform. And you can see they mention here, whenever someone turns on their Whale OS powered smart TV, they will see our app, iDream CTV, on the first page next to apps like Netflix, Prime, and ESPN, giving us tremendous exposure on a global basis. The launch of iDream CTV to those 41 million homes should go live in April of 2025, and the on-ramping of our app and programs start to complete over the coming weeks. So they did hold true to this timeline, because if we see here, let me find the tweet. Right here, a tweet from April 30th, asking almost end of April, Whale TV news coming out today, question mark. And they said, yes, it will launch on Monday. News will follow. Monday being, in this context, May 5th, or tomorrow, right, from when we're putting out this video. So the partnership with Whale TV is expected to launch tomorrow as of this video date, which is a huge catalyst for all the reasons we just covered in this press release, right? So let's move on to the next PR from April 8th, where not only do they have this big partnership with Whale TV that's going to bring them 41 million homes of exposure, but they also partnered with LimeX. So LimeX is a global developer of TV streaming services for Android, iOS, smart TV, etc. And LimeX has had over 100 million downloads on their platform. So now they have a revenue sharing, ad-based, right, revenue program with LimeX. So their media libraries and iDream CTV is going to be featured through the LimeX platform as well, just like with Whale TV. And as you can see, what's great about LimeX is they have an astounding conversion rate of 5 to 8% for its click-throughs, which also get as high as 3%. This is substantial CTR and CR, which could lead to tremendous amount of ad revenue for both parties. So the point of that is LimeX has a really high rate of people actually clicking on their content and enjoying their content versus other streaming platforms. So it's one of the best streaming platforms they could get for a partnership aside from Whale TV, right? So making all the right moves here, 2 massive partnerships for their streaming platform, and you'll see that iDream CTV is going to go from, an app that people haven't heard of to a household name that's on the homepage of your smart TV, right? So that's a really huge thing to highlight here. And then if we look at their most recent press release from May 2nd, you can see Authentic Holdings Inc. closes $11 million acquisition of Goliath Motion Pictures Promotions. So they just closed this acquisition at the end of last week, May 2nd, and this is a really significant acquisition because they're adding $11 million in tangible assets to their balance sheet. So they now have more than double their market cap in just tangible assets on their balance sheet. That's not even including revenues. That's not even including the value of their streaming platform, not even including the value of their partnerships. So it really becomes obvious that the market cap of less than 5 million here is pretty tiny. I mean, it's less than half of just their tangible assets on the books now. So completing this acquisition brings a ton of value, a ton of tangible value to this company for shareholders. We're currently in 61 designated market areas. The Goliath acquisition will now allow us to expand the number aggressively as we move closer to the goal of 100 DMAs and eventually a $50 to $100 rate card for a 30-second ad spots across the Maybach's network. So the last thing to highlight here with this acquisition, which is fantastic for shareholders again, is the purchase terms. The acquisition was consummated by issuing a convertible preferred stock in Authentic Holdings Inc., which cannot be converted to common shares for 3 years. So, and it's also only up to 20% may be converted in any given year. So this is a really non-dilutive acquisition. They basically got $11 million added to their books with very little downside. It's a fantastic deal for this company, and obviously it gives them a much bigger media library to work with and build their streaming platform and make it a better streaming platform for consumers, right? Because now they have this big media library to work with. And you can see it comes with some pretty good stuff, right? Award-winning shows such as In Living Color, The Desmonds, Matt Houston, Steven Spielberg's Taken, just to name a few. Additionally includes films like Open Range starring Kevin Costner and Robert Duvall, 10 full-length Elvis Presley movies such as Blue Hawaii and Attila starring Jared Butler. So you can see that they get a lot of value out of this acquisition, and it really bolsters their content library. But yeah, really want to highlight this part at the end where this is a non-dilutive acquisition for 3 years. They can't dilute anything, and after that they can only dilute up to 20% of this of what can be converted here. So it's a really favorable deal for AHRO, and that concludes the press releases of recently that I wanted to highlight. I think people have a good idea of how big this company can grow to now with these partnerships in place. And I just want to show you as well the Whale TV website. This is a really, really big company, again, powering 41 million smart TVs around the world. And you can see they have 400 plus TV partners, brands that I'm sure have been in your home at one point or maybe are in your home now: SmartTech, Philips, Telefunken, JVC, RCA, Iowa, Magnavox, Westinghouse, Premier, Dixon. So these are just some of the 400 plus TV manufacturers that Whale TV partners with and powers. And so if you own one of these TVs in your house, when you turn that on, you're going to see iDream CTV as one of the premier apps, and you may even see some of their on-demand video content being advertised on the homepage as well. So that's really a big deal here. Let's get into their tweets, because they also have some really nice tweets to look at. They're very active on Twitter. You can go follow them at Authentic HLDGS, Authentic Holdings on Twitter. Go follow them. They're putting out updates nearly every day. Here they show off their VOD platform. It's almost ready for prime time. So rollout with major platforms or major partners will start before this month is out, which again, they held true to that promise. This was put out on April 25th. But this just kind of shows off. You can see the app, right? You can see the app. You can see it working. This shows off, the different library of stuff they have, and basically just how the app looks. So it's neat to see that, and you can even go and use their app. We can look up iDream CTV. Here it is, iDreamCTV.com. Right, watch now, and it's just loading for a second. Okay, we're gonna go to watch now, and this is just on a web browser. I haven't downloaded the app yet. Well, I downloaded the app on my phone, but not on a computer. So I'm showing you on the PC here. But yeah, I mean, look, right? We have all these channels, 42 channels so far. You can go watch something. Let's watch Wild Kingdom Marathon. And here it is. We're watching live stream of this, content. So this is the Wild Kingdom Marathon. I think we're in between an ad here or something. But
were you not paid in full?
Right? So you get the point. This is
I
an old school movie.
lost my only
cool.
son, Mr. Franklin.
There's a big audience for this kind of stuff. I mean, my mom watches movies like this, so people love that stuff, and they have
some things are better left to a professional.
Just wanted to show off the app there a bit. And then here's another tweet from May 2nd where they talk about, we have filed our OTC ID application to bring complete corporate transparency to our shareholders, and now we'll start our 15C 211 application to bring greater lucidity to the trading of our common equity. So what does this mean? Basically, they have unsolicited quotes right now. A lot of OTC companies have had to deal with unsolicited quotes because of broker nonsense and rule changes and stuff like that. But in July, what's happening is OTC is introducing the OTC ID tier, and it's essentially a more legit tier that's going to be replacing pink sheets, and it's going to bring, they're applying for the 15C211 application. So that means it'll have quotes again, it'll have more market makers, it'll trade better, and you'll be able to see level 2 and all of the transparency in level 2, stuff like that. So that's really nice for traders and investors, and obviously going to OTC ID tier is a huge boost of confidence for people, because there's a lot of concerns of what happens to the companies that don't go to OTC ID. We don't have that concern here with AHRO, so that's great to see for the long term. You can hold this into summer, right, and not have to worry about them going yield or something like that. And it is worth noting as well that if we take a look at their disclosures, this is an audited SEC reporting company, so this is a very legitimate operation, and that's a great thing to see. We've had a lot of OTC stocks that we've covered on this channel that are SEC reporting and fully audited, and they always seem to do well because just the transparency that comes through with this is fantastic, and there's a lot less red flags, versus a company that's not audited and not SEC reporting. So that's always great to see. And then a tweet from today, AHRO in July and August will be taking purchase orders for holiday season vinyls. No issues with U.S. customs or tariffs. Our provider, Vantiva, will handle everything from production to 3PL. So this company is, you can see they included an article here with Technicolor. They're working with Technicolor to put out these vinyl records, right, in stores like Target, Barnes & Noble, etc. These are stores that are pretty popular for purchasing vinyl. Vinyl has made a huge comeback over the years. It's very popular now as a collector's item. And you can see here they talk about their last collection that they released in 2022 had orders for over $6 million. So that just shows the demand for this. And, they're launching a new set for this holiday season. They did $6 million last time. I'm sure they're shooting to do even more this time, and that should be a huge boost to revenue for this company. And that pretty much covers all of the recent developments. So let's talk about what are the upcoming catalysts. The Whale TV partnership starts Monday, and then we have a couple more upcoming catalysts that got hinted at in the 8K that they released that went along with this $11 million acquisition press release. And in the 8K, they talk about two key things here. As a result of now owning the assets, Maybach is now in the final stage of negotiations with Hisense Group for vast tag ad partnership with their organization. I'm sure everyone here has heard of Hisense before. It's one of the most popular TV brands in the world. I have two of them, right? They're super popular TVs, and they are working on a partnership with Hisense. So when that deal gets finalized, that's going to be a massive PR, because you're going to have, one of the biggest TV companies in the world mentioned alongside AHRO in a press release. That is huge. So we have that to look forward to. That's going to be a major, major catalyst coming up. And also, in addition, Maybach is in the procedures and testing phases with another streaming platform player to distribute content in conjunction with another vast tag ad partnership, which is expected to be driven by additional multi-million person subscriber audience. So basically, what does that mean? They have Hisense deal coming, and they have another deal coming with a mysterious, large streaming platform. Feel free to take guesses or go, do research on what it could be, but it's going to be another very large streaming platform that these guys are trying to partner with. So that's fantastic as well. So really doing everything right here. No dilution, constant press, constant updates on Twitter, building a real business, bringing in revenue growth, and bringing in tangible assets onto the books and real partnerships with real companies. So fantastic to see. And again, putting out 8Ks, like this is something that you want to look for in an OTC company. So few companies are audited and doing SEC reporting stuff and putting out 8Ks. And the truth is, the reason they aren't is because they're usually lying. So if you put out an audited SEC reporting 8K, it means they're not lying. It means it's legit and you can actually trust it. So that's great to see. And then I just want to show you here to compare valuations, because AHRO with their platform now is only at a $5 million market cap. Let's compare it to other free ad revenue based streaming platforms such as Tubi TV and Pluto TV. So Tubi TV, we can see, was valued around $2.8 billion in 2023. Sounds like a lot more than $5 million, right? And also Pluto TV estimated to be worth billions. It was acquired by Viacom for $340 million in 2019. So it's pretty obvious based on these valuations that streaming platforms that with the right partnerships and the right content libraries and have the whole system set up, right, should not be valued at $5 million. They should be valued way, way higher. So considering this, I mean, Pluto TV, guys, is not even like a huge thing, and it's worth $340 million. It was acquired for $340 million in 2019. Now it's worth billions, right? So it's not imaginative whatsoever that AHRO and their iDream CTV platform should be worth more than $4.7 million market cap, right? And again, they have more than double this number on their assets alone now. So I just wanted to show those valuations just because people might not be familiar with what a proper valuation for a platform like this would be. And you're looking at it, right? Again, Pluto TV, when it was still rather small, was sold for $340 million. So the potential for growth here is really tremendous. So definitely check out AHRO, guys. Not diluting, constant news, doing all the right things, big partnerships in the works, about to reach 40 million plus TVs. It's a no-brainer to me with what these guys are building and how often they're putting out updates and how fast they're building this. So thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you next time.